You know the top things you need to do for transition month? Hey, y'all, I am Cassie Bollinger, and I'm going to walk you through all the things that you need for your business this month and to let your customers know. So, transition month. This is the last month of the current catalog, our fall and winter. And starting next month, we get the spring and summer. So, transition for us is meaning that we have access to all the things that are coming for spring and summer. And if you guys haven't seen them, oh my gosh, go through your workstation because you want to see some of these warmers. Check out the catalog. Now, as you maneuver through your workstation and you are looking at the new catalog, start highlighting or writing down or even printing some of that off and knowing which warmers you want to talk about. Now, transition for our customers is a little bit different. They are getting a discount this month. They get 10% off of all the items that are seasonal, that are leaving us, that are not going to be in the spring and summer catalog. So you have to have two mindsets going on right now. One is you want to start getting ready for the new catalog to release March 1st. Secondly, you want to make sure that your customers know that there are discounts going on. And if they want any of those fall and winter scents that they have grown to love in the last 6 months, that they need to snag them before they're gone. Now, that also gives you that other part of making sure that they are setting up a Scentsy club to keep those wax bars coming forever and ever. Amen. So what do you do? How do you juggle all of these different things? Your first thing is you need to make a plan. What do you want to focus on? Are you going to let your customers know that there's 10% off this month on their website or your website? Yes, you need to make sure that you are letting your customers know that 10% off of our items. Now, it's not every item, but you can say it's almost all the products in our fall and winter catalog because a lot of those are seasonal. Then how I do it. Now, again, this is how I do it. And every single consultant does this their own way. So it's going to vary on who you speak to. I'm just showing you guys what I'm doing. So what I do is on the first part of February, I start looking at all the items and I look at the catalog and I start trying to plan the things I want, the things that I want to get. Now, the kits and all the things that Scentsy pre-packages, you can't use on an order. You can't use them as, you can't use them as rewards for free and half price. So that's where you have to decide on what items do you want to put into an order just to close out, or that you want to wait for the like free and half price items. So that's what I do. I go through and I look to see what warmers I want and what warmers I need and what warmers I can't wait to get. That list gets started, and that is the first order I place on March 1st. When the new catalog releases, I get those warmers in my hands. Now, everybody is in a different place in their business. And so what I do may not be what you want to do. But the things I get in February, I'm going to give you a list. I promise. I do the transitional kit, the sales kit, the one that has your catalogs, your product sheets, your testers, those items I need because I need to start prepping for mail outs. This is for what is going to my customers. Now, other than that, I don't personally get the other kits because I want to get them free or half price. So there is a discount, I believe, whenever you get all the other stuff pre-bundled. And if you order at the beginning of the month, you can start taking pictures and showing your customers before the catalog releases. Now, everybody has their own preference or their own rule of thumb of should you show the spring and summer catalog early when we just started February. You're going to see it, but you have to decide for yourself. Your customers and your friends and family are only going to see what you show them. For me, I wait until about halfway through the month. I try to make sure that they still know that there is 10% off, but I also start getting them reminded that let's open a rewards link. I let them know you can start a rewards link this month. You get all these goodies for 10% off. And then after the new catalog hits, we can get some of the items that are coming out that are brand new for free or half price. So you have to start looking more global, like more rounded on your thinking. So you have to think as a consultant of you want to get prepped and ready. But at the same time is that you need to understand that some customers don't buy every single month. So you have to gauge on the things that you're going to get for transition of what you can afford and what you're wanting to do. Like basically you're planning out your next 6 months. The new catalogs. I love the new catalogs, but the actual catalogs, I don't give out to customers. I don't prefer those. I get it in the kit that I order from on the workstation that gives me all the new testers or the transition testers along with the product sheets, but the product sheets, that's where it's at. So honestly, if I could buy and get a discount, the testers and the product sheets along with all the stickers, I would be golden. But they don't have that where you can kind of mix and match or even kind of bundle up. So I always make sure that I have money saved on my Scentsy card. I keep a certain amount for my business, and those are the supplies that I buy. So I don't normally buy any of my supplies until after we get paid on the 10th of February. Because I look at it as if I don't want to spend my family money on my Scentsy business. I want to use my Scentsy money for family. So the majority of it goes to our bills, but the rest, there's just a portion of it. And I say 15% to go back into my business. So as you start February 1st, I get up and I make sure I start changing all of my marketing over. So I get into Canva, I make a cover sheet for my personal page. And that same one I use on my business page and in my VIP. So I use that one banner or cover page for all three of those. Now, my team, I also do a whole thing for every month of my team. Oops, I should turn this off. My team page, I also create something that is themed for this month. And I normally just put the month and I change the colors. But those are the things that I set up for the month. I also do interactive posts for the whole month. I make sure that I create them in Canva and use them on the bulk create. So that way I can just find some quotes or some cute questions, or maybe they're either a month, like it's a February theme, or sometimes it's about a holiday that's going up. I could have done them all Valentine's. I didn't, but you know, there's so many things you can do with creating these interactive posts every month. So far, today is the 1st of February. I've already changed over my cover pages for my personal, my business, my VIP, and my team. I've also started looking at where my team was at from last night. Well, technically it was this morning because I'm in Central Standard Time to see where everybody landed. Now, some days, like today, you can't always see all the reporting because they had a huge transition this last month. So you may not start to see any of your PRV or your teams yet, but don't worry. Customer service is always there to help you. For me, I checked it all day yesterday, quite a few times, so I kind of know where everybody's at. There's always 1 or 2 last minute orders, so I don't finalize anything until I can officially look at Scentsy's reporting to find out who hit what. And then I shout my team out. Now, this is team-wise. So now we're going to go back to customers. I know I'm a little bit everywhere, but this is my thought process. So going back to my customers, I shouldn't say we. I don't know if you watched it, but I hope you watched at the end of the month that Dan Orchard does every single, on the last day of every single month. So we watched it. I wrote everything down of the things that are releasing, and I make a focus. I decide on what I'm going to promote. For me, in the month of February, my goal is recruiting. I want to build my team and I want to help others be able to have the success that I've had. Is it great success? To me, it's amazing. For me, every single month that I get income that I've worked and gotten, I feel satisfied. I love this business. I love Scentsy products and I use them. So for me to get paid back on the products that I either use for my house or that my customers have ordered, it is just a blessing for me. And that's how I look at Scentsy. It's a blessing. If there's a month that I don't get a big enough paycheck, then I also know that that was on me, because that means I either didn't make new connections, or I didn't have any parties set up, or I didn't follow up with any of my customers. So this all is kind of gearing towards, this is how I spend my money whenever whenever transition hits. You always kind of want to know where you're sitting at on budget wise, and don't go overboard. There are things that you can get throughout the season. You do not have to have all the new products if you can't afford it. There's a lot of amazing Scentsy consultants that will put up their personal pictures. They'll get the warmers, they'll set them up. They have beautiful displays, and they're great with a camera. And guess what? There's no reason to stress, because there's going to be pictures that you can find. So take a breath, shake it off. Just shake it off. Remember that your business needs to be like geared towards you. You need to feel comfortable with the things that you're doing. So write down, get a piece of paper, and what do you want to focus on this month? Are you focused on parties? Well, that would be great, because that means your host, all of her guests would get 10% off. And then she can close her party and get free and half price either in this month or even the next month when the spring and summer items release. If you're wanting to recruit, then you need to start looking and watching for whenever we have promotions. With this being transition month, there is so much stuff in the new starter kits. You have not only, you have fall and winter catalogs and testers, you get the new spring and summer and testers. And they're throwing in the extra item of the Scentsy swipes. I'm just so excited. Scentsy swipes. So for me, I'm gearing more towards, you get to try a product that none of us get to try yet, because the rest of us can't buy any until March 1st. So again, don't stress over a transition month. Take a moment and decide, what do you want to focus on? If you are one that your customers love new warmers, and it's something you want to invest on because you do get your commission back, then invest on the warmer kit. That way you can set them up in your house. You can take pictures. And guys, when you're taking pictures, make sure that you're showing your face. Be happy, be excited, show them. I'm trying to look. I know I have when you are taking pictures, point to it, be excited. If it's wax, smell it, put your nose in it and be like, oh my gosh, take videos. And guys, if you're ones that you're just so worried about what other people think of you while you're on the video, quit worrying about that. They don't pay your bills. They love to see crazy, messy, whatever. This is how I'll do my videos today. You're watching me now, and this is what I look like. There's no makeup on. Actually, it's probably yesterday's makeup. Yeah, it's probably yesterday's makeup. And I was cleaning today, so I'm just in my cleaning clothes. And if I have to, I'll tell them that. I'm not really worried about it, because my whole thing is that information for them, or tips or tricks, are needed to be said as soon as I figure out they need to know. If you wait too long for something to be perfect, it'll never be perfect. Just FYI, just do it. Just take a deep breath and do it. So if you're one that you love the warmers and you sell a lot of warmers, investing into the new warmers for the spring and summer may be something for you. Now, for me, I get the rub and sniff stickers because that's what I mail out. I'm very cheap on my mail because I want to make sure that I can get all of it in there in a stamp. Now, maybe if I have extra stuff I'm sending, then I'll do the butterfly stamp, which is up to 2 ounces. But I don't want to have to mail a package to my customers, because I have enough that it already takes, it's already quite a bit just to get stamps. So I want to try to keep all my costs down, because that way I can bless others. So think about the products that are available. Think about what your paycheck's going to look like. You should know roughly where your PRV was at the end of January. And if you have a team, it's going to be a little bit more, but you can at least guesstimate what your check's going to be off of what your sales were. If you're an essential consultant, then they're at 20%. If you're a certified consultant, then they're at 25%. Of course, again, if you have a team, then your check's going to be a little bit higher. So take a breath. Decide what you want to focus on. Decide what you want to do. If you are not one to take pictures, if you are not one to share your love of Scentsy, then there's no reason to get an overwhelming amount of products in your hands. Now, the whole other flip side. So we're going to take a step back. As a customer, if your customers love seeing the pictures and they will order them from you the minute they see it, you can either get pre-orders or you can sell those items that you get. It is up to you. So if your customers just love new warmers and you know that you can sell them, then get that kit because you'll get the PRV this month. Then you can go ahead and either ship it to them or they can come and pick them up, or ask your customers, get them interacted in your VIPs. Ask them, should I go ahead and get this? If there's enough people or you can pre-sell them before, then it may pay for those warmers for you to be able to get them, open them up, take some pictures, no matter if you're setting it up or if you're just holding it and taking pictures of yourself. That is another way that I get a lot of pictures done. They're not necessarily my warmers. They're for my customers, but I do a photo shoot. I sit here and I take it and I will hold it like this and I'll be like, oh, and I'll make some expressions on my face because I never know when I'm going to reuse that again. And then if there's a lot of wax or your testers, I will stack them up and be like, I will look at them like this, or I'll be like, what? Or I'll stand up. There's so many different ways that you can take pictures that compliment you. But you got to have a smile. You got to be excited because people can tell when you're just like, you're completely dead up here and you're just like, okay. Like you need to be excited about the products, even if you don't like them all. Guys, there's a lot of different waxes that we have come out that aren't my favorite. I am more of a fruity bakery, and that's where all of my scents come from. So let's just kind of recap, just so you know how to get through this transition month. Make a decision on where you want your business to go. After you've made a decision on what you're going to focus on this month, look at your budget. Make sure that your budget is going to fit where your destination is going. Then decide on what transition items you want to get. If you're not one to mail a whole bunch of stuff out to your customers, you may not need a whole bunch of products or product sheets or catalogs. If I live and breathe through the product sheets because all the information's on there. It may not be colorful, it may not be in large print, but I can mail those for a stamp. All of my customers get those whenever we move over into a new month. So just remember that however you decide to do your transition month, that you can do this. You are strong, you are worthy, you are important, and you can do this. Transition month should be exciting. It should be exciting. Let them know that there's items leaving. Remind them about Scentsy Club, okay? So not only are you letting them know that we're switching over, but there's Scentsy Club. There's discounts this month. There's a huge transition kit for new consultants. Start learning how to build your team. Start looking for the customers that like the deals and start prepping yourself for an amazing spring and summer because February is going to go fast. We have so many exciting things that are releasing that you don't want to miss out. So working your Scentsy business is all about what you want to focus on because what you focus on will come true. I promise. All right. I love you all. I hope you have a blessed day. Again, guys, I am Cassie Bollinger. Make sure that you like, share, and subscribe to my channel to get all the tips and tricks of how to either run your business or maybe just the Scentsy hacks and the things. And if you have been thinking about starting your own Scentsy journey, or maybe you've already started it once, but you are wanting to get some insight, please feel free to message me. You can find all my details down in the description section of how to reach out to me on all social media. I love you all. I hope you have a blessed night, and I'll talk to you guys soon.